In today's video, I'm going to take you through how to start setting up your kitchen design in REVIT, setting cabinetry, and the like. So if you were going to go ahead and open up the actual assignment for the kitchen design project, the example of a set drawing is here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start building this particular kitchen in REVIT. So to start that process, I'm going to go to REVIT. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new project. So I hit New. Open up the architectural template. That's the template we've been utilizing. And then hit New. Now, once REVIT opens up, I just need to start setting up some information here. So what I'm going to do is I'm on my first floor plan, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my wall tool. And I'm not necessarily going to establish exterior interior walls just yet. I'm just going to use this basic wall 8-inch. Because we can always go back and change the exterior wall and the interior walls. But I'm going to go ahead and then just draw a wall. Now the wall that I'm working with is somewhere in the ballpark, the kitchen is somewhere in the ballpark of 12 feet, 11 or like 12, 13 feet. So I'm going to just pull this out to about 20 feet, right about, 20 feet. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to set up another wall that's going to come across in this direction. All I want to do is start with this interior corner. And as I build my kitchen out, given the information found on this kitchen drawing, then I can start bringing in and changing things. Obviously, this interior wall down here is going to be a 2x4 wall. This would be a 2x6 wall, siding and drywall. For now, we're just going to start working setting cabinetry. Okay. Once we do that, we can move the walls back out. So as I go back into REVIT, first thing I'm going to do is I want to set up a wall style that does not have such a big heavy line to it. So I'm going to do this by grabbing my Manage tab. I'm going to come over to my Object Styles, and I'm going to slide down to my walls. And I'm going to set that up. So I'm going to change this 5 to a 1. Click in another cell, hit Apply, and OK. Now I can actually see that wall surface, and I can actually see my endpoint snap a little easier. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this drawing and reference the drawing. And I'm going to come down here, and just as you're going to start a construction project, you're going to start with a corner cabinet. Even if you're installing cabinets for real, you're going to go ahead and start with a corner cabinet. And you're going to set that into what would be a corner that cannot move. Okay, so this corner doesn't move. Now as I look at this, I can actually see the backsplash offset here, which is nice. It's good. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my corner cabinet down here. This is a WC corner unit, and this actually has a Lazy Susan. REVIT does not have a Lazy Susan cabinet, so we're just going to go back into REVIT. I'm going to go to the Architecture tab. Then I'm going to slide over to the Component tab and grab Place Component. Once I do that, I can come over here and I can look through my components to see if I've loaded this thing yet, and I haven't. So now I'm going to come over here to my Load Family and select Load Family. From this point, I'm going to slide down to my Casework. Casework is another name for cabinetry. And double click on Casework. And I want Base Cabinets, so I select Base Cabinets. From here, I'm going to look for a corner angled unit. Now, if I just do a single selection here from the way that my mouse is set up, I can then see a preview over here in this preview window. So what I want is right here, Base Cabinet, Corner Unit, Angled. So I'm going to grab that Base Cabinet, Corner Unit, Angled. And I'm going to bring it into my drawing, and I can easily see what's the back and the front because of the angle. I need to rotate it, so I'm going to hit my space bar, and it's a quick, easy rotation using your space bar. As I bring this down in position, I'm going to then mouse over until I highlight one wall, and I'm going to slowly come down the wall until it highlights on the other wall. And then I'm going to drop the cabinet. I know I want to put another one over here, so to save time later, I'm just going to hit my space bar and rotate it again, and then drop one over this way. Align it to the wall and drop it. It doesn't have to be in any real position at this point because I'm going to start filling things in. We may have some filler spaces. We're going to have a range. We have a bunch of things going on here. Okay. So from this point, I'm going to come back out. I'm going to get back to the drawing. Say the next cabinet to what would be the right of the corner cabinet is going to be a BC 24, Base Cabinet 24. And then in order to find out what kind of cabinet it is, I'm going to come over here and look at this call-out view. Is going to see the range and the cabinets. And this is going to be D1, 2. So I'm going to slide up. This is D1. There it is. And this is number 2. So as I look at this is that base cabinet, and this is a 4-drawer base cabinet. So there's a lot 4 drawers set up here, and this is the same over here. So I can use that same cabinet twice. So it behooves me to find it. So I'm going to go to REVIT. I'm going to go back to Components. I'm going to go right to Load Family because I didn't see any other cabinets in there. I'm going to go into Casework. I'm going to go into Base Cabinets. Now I'm going to look for that cabinet. Base cabinet, 4 drawers. There it is. I'm going to hit Open. Now I just got to make sure it's 24 inches. Whereas I look over here, this says Base Cabinet 4 Drawer 18. So I'm going to pull down this selector and then find Base Cabinet 4 Drawer. Well, there's a 12, a 15, an 18, a 21. There's the 24. So I select the 24. Now I'm going to come over. The cursor is actually dancing around the back of the cabinet. You would never know that unless you looked at the 3D view or the front view. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this so that use my space bar. Get that so the cursor is on the back of the cabinet. I'm going to mouse over a wall so it highlights, and then I'm going to slowly move this over until it actually touches the cabinet. Once it touches, I get this little alignment line that pops out down here, and then I click. I've now placed that cabinet in position. I know I need one on the other side, so I'm going to just come up here, and I'm just going to drop one here for now too. All right, so hit Escape twice to stop placing cabinets. And we can start looking for the range. To find the range, I'm going to go to Components, Load Family, and then I need to look in some other areas because the range is not casework. The range is going to be under Specialty Equipment, and then it's going to be under Domestic, and then I should be able to find my range. So there's my range. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit Open, and the range that I want is going to be a 30-inch range. So this is going to be a 30 by 26. 26 is the depth, 30 is the width. Generally, most ranges, most standard ranges used in residential construction now are 30 inches. Unless you go with something fancy, it's going to be a 30-inch range. So I take that, I rotate it. Obviously, you can kind of see the back and the front because a range has the knobs and controls on the back side. So you can see the line. Then I'm going to slowly move over. I'm going to put it in position, and then I'm going to move it towards the cabinet and then drop it in position. Hit Escape twice. All right, once the range is set, we could actually go ahead and now take this 24-inch cabinet, and we could just go ahead and move this over. Now, I want to move this very, very specifically. So I'm going to grab my Move tool this time, and I'm going to grab the back of the cabinet and zoom in and bring it right over to the side of the range and click. Okay. Once I zoom out, I can now say, okay, I really kind of want to get an idea of what this is going to look like. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to set up a call out. So I'm going to do View. And then I'm going to come over here to Elevation, and I want to get another elevation. And this time, I want to get an interior elevation, so it's going to be round. As I bring this over, it's going to touch and look at that cabinet. I'm going to go ahead and drop that elevation. Once I do that, I can hit Escape twice to get out of my elevation. And then if I double-click on that little arrow, black filled-in area, should be able to actually go and look at the elevation. So there's the elevation that just got created. I can see the face of the range. I can see that I put the cabinets in correctly. Now I'm ready to start dealing with this side cabinet or the corner cabinet and bringing that over. All right. So I'm going to now just close out of that elevation, which is going to take me back to my top view. And given the size of this, I'm going to set this up right now. I'm going to change this to be 1/4 inch equals a foot. What that does is just shrink the elevation and change the overall scale. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this corner cabinet, again, grab my Move tool, grab the back corner, drag it over, and drop it in position. Next thing I'm going to start looking to do is start setting top cabinets. Okay, so I'm going to start setting the wall cabinets so I can see where they're going to end up. I'm going to go ahead and grab my view here. I definitely have a corner cabinet, which this looks like upper cabinet double door wall. 2 foot. That's not the one. So let's come back down here. We need to find where's those call outs. There it is. So this is going to be a wall corner unit. We need to grab that. And then there's going to be a wall corner 12 by 30, 24 by 30. So the 24 is going to be the length. 12 is the length as well here, or the width, I'm sorry. Then the corner unit. So let's go find those cabinets. Back to REVIT, back to Architecture, and we're going to go in and start finding these wall cabinets.